Sister wives Kody Brown faces backlash for shocking comment about difference between moms and dads. Sister wives Kody Brown explained the unique ways in which mothers and fathers express love for their children, drawing criticism for his perspective. Kody married Mary, Janelle, and Cristin Brown in the early 90s with the goal of creating a polygamous household. Over the decades, Kody had 13 children, 6 with Janelle, 6 with Cristin, and 1 with Mary. He was once seen as a devoted patriarch of the Brown family until Robyn Brown joined. The Sister Wives season 19 star's focus shifted to Robyn, causing him to neglect his responsibilities toward his other families with his original 3 wives. In a message to a Sister Wives fan, reposted by @Sucker4Reality, Kody admitted to feeling jealous of mothers who have unconditional love for their children, while fathers are often required to show tough love. He added, "They listen instead of trying to fix the problems like dads do." However, many fans reacted negatively to his statement, criticizing him in the comments. One Redditor @orangeboy_22 said, "Everything that he can't do is because of some set of circumstances beyond his control." Another Redditor @Killiam chimed in, "He copped out instead of working on his ability to love without condition." Mary, Janelle, and Cristin separated from Kody between 2021 and 2023, leaving him in a monogamous relationship with Robyn. After the separation, Kody started to distance himself from his children. He believed that his adult children didn't respect Robyn and demanded an apology from them. When his children refused to apologize, their relationship deteriorated even further. The family stopped celebrating Christmas together, and Kody rarely spoke to his children. He showered Robyn's children with love and gifts, while some of his children didn't even receive a phone call from him on their birthdays. With his recent comments, Kody has deepened the emotional divide between himself and his adult children. It seemed as though he was attempting to justify his lack of closeness to his children by suggesting that mothers have an innate, unconditional love for their children, whereas fathers have to cultivate it. By framing fatherhood as naturally less nurturing, he appears to be evading responsibility. Unfortunately, his remarks will only widen the emotional distance between him and his children. Kody probably realizes that his controversial statements won't be well received by his children, but he no longer seems concerned about reconciling with them. Kody is often seen as the villain of Sister Wives, and his recent remarks may have further damaged his public image. Many Sister Wives viewers criticized him for perpetuating harmful gender stereotypes. They also shared personal experiences of their fathers who were just as nurturing as their mothers. Kody likely attempted to justify his lack of emotional connection with his adult children by relying on outdated notions of parenting. Sister Wives fans may be justified in calling out Kody for dismissing fathers who are consistently emotionally present for their children. Once the golden-haired figurehead of America's most-watched polygamous family, Sister Wives Kody Brown now finds himself at the epicenter of collapse, criticism, and chaos. Once surrounded by 4 devoted wives and nearly 24 children, Kody has morphed from a man managing a family culture to a cautionary tale of fractured dreams, wounded egos, and the high price of control. From the outside, Kody Brown's journey might have looked like a grand social experiment, an effort to normalize plural marriage and push back against stigma. For many seasons, he preached unity, claimed love should be multiplied, not divided, and painted his family's unconventional lifestyle with strokes of idealism and faith. But behind the smile and the self-assured words, cracks were always there, hidden in the unequal affections, the power dynamics, the simmering resentments. In the early years, Kody portrayed himself as a man on a mission. His faith in the Apostolic United Brethren and commitment to polygamy were tightly interwoven with his identity. Mary was the legal wife, the first, the original. Then came Janelle, practical and reserved, bringing a grounding presence to the growing family. Cristin followed with her bubbly personality and maternal instincts, raising many of the kids and bringing warmth to the Brown household. And last came Robyn, the wild card, the shift. Robyn's arrival was the beginning of what would later be described by fans as Kody's emotional monogamy. She didn't just add a 4th chair at the table, she flipped the entire table over. With her came legal marriage, custody battles over her kids from a previous marriage, and a noticeable shift in Kody's attention and affection. What was once a plural structure now tilted heavily toward one woman, leaving the others out in the cold, literally and figuratively. As the seasons unfolded, so did the unraveling. Cristin was the first to break. Always the family cheerleader, always playing the part of the sweet wife, Her heart slowly shattered under the weight of years feeling dismissed, overlooked, and unloved. When she finally walked away in 2021, it was as if a storm had been brewing for a decade and finally burst. Kody's reaction wasn't sorrow, it was fury. He blamed her, accused her of betrayal, of turning their children against him. But audiences saw something else, a one who had been gaslit for too long, finally reclaiming her power. Then came Janelle. Independent and often living more as a partner in parenting than in romance, she always seemed content with the arrangement until she wasn't. Watching Kody spiral into resentment and wield religion like a weapon during the COVID years was a breaking point. The pandemic didn't just fracture the world, it fractured the Browns. Kody's authoritarian rules, his clear favoritism, and his refusal to visit the adult children unless they complied completely with his mandates sent shockwaves through the family. Janelle stood firm for her kids, and that firmness cost her the marriage. Mary's story is perhaps the most tragic. The original wife, the one who married Kody first and legally, found herself pushed further and further into emotional exile. The catfishing scandal may have been the catalyst, but the cold truth is that Kody had long since emotionally divorced her. When he finally admitted he no longer considered himself married to Mary, fans were outraged, not at the split, but at the cruelty. Mary had waited in limbo, hoping for scraps, while Kody had already mentally shut the door years ago. And then there was one. Robyn. The wife who once claimed she supported plural marriage now sits in a monogamous tower, guarded fiercely by Kody's loyalty and bitterness. But what Robyn gained in exclusivity, she lost in unity. Gone is the sisterhood she once claimed to cherish. Gone are the bonus moms for her kids. And gone is the illusion of a plural dream, replaced by a resentful husband, 3 ex-wives, and a mountain of broken relationships. Kody now walks through the wreckage of what he once called a blessed life. The man who once confidently declared his family would stick together forever is now alienated from most of his older children, abandoned by 3 of his wives, and steeped in public criticism. The transformation is stark. Once cocky and charismatic, he now comes across as defensive, bitter, and lost. But Kody's downfall isn't just a soap opera. It's a masterclass in what happens when control masquerades as leadership. Throughout the show's run, Kody struggled with balance. He wanted obedience but preached freedom. He demanded loyalty but gave affection selectively. He viewed disagreement as betrayal and placed his ego above the emotional well-being of his wives. The camera never blinked, and America watched as the man behind the hair and bravado unraveled before their eyes. Still, Sister Wives continues. The ratings surge. Viewers tune in not just for the drama, but for the realness, the raw unraveling of a dream sold too soon and a structure stretched too thin. For some, it's schadenfreude. For others, it's a study in human dynamics, gender roles, and the limitations of faith when wielded as a sword rather than a shield. What comes next for Kody Brown is uncertain. He still has Robyn, but even she seems weary. The once bright-eyed wife who dreamed of family unity now seems cloaked in disappointment, mourning the dream that collapsed. Kody has talked of finding new wives, of continuing the lifestyle, but the world has changed. The family has changed, he has changed. And maybe that's the real story here, not of a man who failed, but of a man who refused to bend. In a family built on flexibility, faith, and cooperation, Kody insisted on control, hierarchy, and self-preservation. And now, in the twilight of his polygamist experiment, he finds himself with fewer people to blame and fewer bridges left to burn. As the seasons roll on, and as his children grow into adults with their own stories to tell, Kody Brown may yet face his greatest challenge, understanding his own role in the fallout. Whether he chooses introspection or doubles down on deflection will define the final chapters of his story. One thing is certain, the dream of one big happy Brown family is over.